The Galactic Council was known across the universe for its power and authority. This vast organization of alien species ruled many planets and commanded a mighty fleet. One day, they made a startling announcement that echoed through the galaxy. They were turning their eyes toward Earth. The Council's message was clear and intimidating. They demanded that humanity surrender and submit to their rule. Their message was filled with arrogance and contempt. "Submit to our authority or face the consequences," the alien representative declared with a cold, unfeeling tone. He appeared on screens throughout the galaxy, his alien features sharp and his eyes unblinking. He spoke as if humans were nothing more than insects to be crushed. Back on Earth, the message caused immediate panic and confusion. Leaders from all over the world gathered in a high-security meeting room. The atmosphere was tense as they listened to the ultimatum. The President of Earth, a calm and determined leader, stood at the head of the table. His face was a mask of resolve despite the gravity of the situation. "Are they serious?" the President asked, his voice echoing in the room. "This is outrageous." Military commanders and scientists exchanged worried glances. They knew the Council had immense power, but they also knew they could not simply surrender. The Council's demands were unreasonable and based on outdated information about Earth's capabilities. The alien representative had boasted about their superior technology and military might, making it clear they saw humanity as weak and insignificant. They displayed images of their enormous warships and advanced weapons, further proving their point. Their message was not just a threat, it was a show of force designed to intimidate and demoralize. The President's face hardened. "We cannot let them think they can push us around," he said. "We need to show them that Earth will not bow to their demands." In a show of defiance, the President decided to address the galaxy directly. A broadcast was prepared, and the President's face appeared on screens everywhere. The President's voice was firm and unyielding as he spoke to the Galactic Council. "We have received your ultimatum," he began, "and we will not be intimidated. If you want to face our wrath, then come. But know this, Earth will fight back with everything we have." The broadcast was met with surprise and curiosity across the galaxy. Some aliens were skeptical of humanity's resolve, while others were intrigued by the boldness of the human leader. The Galactic Council, however, was not pleased. Their representative sneered as he watched the broadcast, dismissing it as nothing more than empty bravado. Back on Earth, preparations for the possible conflict began immediately. The leaders knew that the threat was real and that they had to act swiftly. Military forces were put on high alert, and scientists began working on advanced defense technologies. Every corner of the globe was mobilized, and humanity united in the face of the threat. As the Council's fleets prepared to move, Earth's leaders held on to a glimmer of hope. They had warned the Council, and now they would have to wait and see if their warning would be heeded or if the conflict would escalate into a full-scale war. With both sides gearing up for the inevitable clash, the galaxy watched in anticipation. The first move had been made, and the stage was set for a dramatic confrontation between humanity and the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council's threat hung over Earth like a dark cloud. The initial shock was now replaced by a fierce determination. Humanity had been given a choice, surrender or fight. With their backs against the wall, Earth's leaders chose to fight. In a top-secret military bunker, high-ranking officials and scientists worked around the clock. The room buzzed with activity as people hurried from one task to another. Blueprints of advanced weapons and defense systems covered the walls. The air was thick with urgency and determination. General Carter, one of Earth's most respected military leaders, stood at the center of the room. His face was lined with worry, but his eyes were sharp with resolve. "We've never faced anything like this before," he said to the gathered team. "But we have a chance to show the Galactic Council that they've made a grave mistake." Engineers and scientists were busy developing new technologies, hidden for years. These technologies were now being brought to light. Powerful energy shields, advanced missile systems, and stealth drones were among the innovations being readied for battle. The goal was clear, to turn Earth's vulnerabilities into strengths. Meanwhile, the President addressed the nation, rallying people from all walks of life. "We are at a crossroads," the President declared in a televised speech. "We have been threatened, and we must respond with unity and strength. Every person, every community, every city must contribute to our defense." Across the globe, people took up the call. Factories switched from peacetime production to making military equipment. Citizens signed up to serve in the military or support the war effort in other ways. Schools and businesses were repurposed to support the national defense. The entire planet was mobilized for war. The elite task force, known as the Vanguard Unit, was formed from the best soldiers, engineers, and strategists. This team was given the most advanced technology and the most critical missions. Their goal was to protect Earth's most vital assets and to prepare for the inevitable clash with the Galactic Council. Captain Laura Hayes, the leader of the Vanguard Unit, was known for her quick thinking and bravery. She gathered her team for a briefing. "We're about to face a challenge like no other," she said. "Our job is to hold the line and show the Galactic Council that humanity will not be easily defeated. We have the technology and the willpower to win this fight." The Vanguard Unit began their preparations by deploying advanced defense systems around key locations. They set up energy shields around major cities and military bases. Stealth drones were positioned to monitor any incoming threats. Every move was calculated and precise, aiming to outsmart and outmaneuver the superior technology of the Galactic Council. As the days passed, the tension grew. The Galactic Council, still confident in their superiority, did not expect such a swift and organized response from humanity. They continued their preparations for the invasion, unaware of the extent to which Earth had prepared. In the quiet moments of the night, the skies were filled with the hum of drones and the glow of energy shields. Earth's defenses were taking shape, and the anticipation of the upcoming battle grew with each passing day. The Galactic Council's threat was met with a steadfast determination to protect their home and prove that humanity was not to be underestimated. The stage was now set for a dramatic showdown. Humanity had warned the Council and prepared for war, ready to defend their world and their future. The day had finally arrived. The Galactic Council, confident in their overwhelming power, began their invasion of Earth. Massive warships and fleets of attack drones descended from the stars, casting ominous shadows over the planet. Humanity's defenses, built in secret and tested under pressure, were about to face their greatest challenge. The first wave of the Council's attack struck major cities and military bases with brutal efficiency. Cities like New York, London, and Tokyo were hit hardest. The air was filled with the sounds of explosions and sirens. The Council's warships unleashed torrents of energy beams, devastating everything in their path. General Carter watched the scene unfold from the command center. His face was grim as he saw the destruction on the monitors. But he knew this was only the beginning. "Get our defenses up now," he ordered. "We need to show them that Earth is not an easy target." The Vanguard Unit, led by Captain Laura Hayes, was on high alert. They had deployed energy shields and missile systems around key locations, but the intensity of the attack tested their resolve. As the first wave of Council forces approached, the Vanguard's advanced defense systems sprang into action. Energy shields glowed bright blue, deflecting incoming fire. Missiles streaked through the sky, striking the Council's drones and warships. Captain Hayes directed her team with calm precision. "We've prepared for this," she said over the comms. "Hold the line and keep the pressure on them. We can't let them break through." Despite their preparations, the battle was fierce. The Council's warships were heavily armored and equipped with advanced weaponry. They moved with calculated precision, aiming to overwhelm Earth's defenses with sheer firepower. The sky was a chaotic mix of flashing lights and explosions, and the ground shook with the impact of the attacks. In the midst of the chaos, humanity showed their strength. Soldiers on the ground fought valiantly, using every tool and tactic they had been given. Citizens who had joined the fight provided support and assistance wherever they could. The unity and determination of Earth's defenders were evident in their resistance. As the hours passed, the Council's forces began to encounter unexpected resistance. The energy shields held up better than anticipated, and the missile systems were more effective at taking down drones than the Council had expected. The Vanguard Unit's counterattacks began to disrupt the Council's plans, forcing them to reconsider their strategy. The Council's representative, watching from a safe distance aboard a command ship, grew increasingly frustrated. "These humans are putting up a better fight than we anticipated," he growled. "Increase the intensity of the attack. We cannot afford to be delayed." Despite the increased pressure, Earth's defenders held their ground. The initial wave of the Council's attack had not achieved the decisive victory they had hoped for. The battle was far from over, but humanity's resolve was clear. They would not surrender easily, and they would fight to protect their world. As night fell, the sky was lit with the aftermath of the day's battles. Smoke and debris filled the air, but the determination of Earth's defenders shone brightly. The first strike had been met with a fierce and unexpected response. Both sides knew that the coming days would be even more challenging. The Galactic Council's arrogance had been tested, and Earth's resilience had been proven. The fight was far from over. But humanity had made it clear they were ready to defend their planet and push back against the invaders. The battle raged on, and Earth's defenders were pushed to their limits. The Galactic Council's invasion had caused widespread destruction, but humanity's resolve was unshaken. Despite their efforts, the invaders had underestimated the strength and ingenuity of their opponents. The time had come for a turning point in the struggle for Earth's survival. General Carter and Captain Laura Hayes met in the command center, their faces reflecting the strain of the ongoing conflict. The room was filled with maps, charts, and the buzz of communication equipment. "We've held them off, but we need something more," Carter said, his voice tense. "We need to hit them where it hurts." Captain Hayes nodded, her eyes sharp with determination. "We've been working on a special plan," she said. "It's risky, but it might just give us the advantage we need." In secret, the Vanguard unit had been developing a high-risk, high-reward strategy. They had discovered a weakness in the Council's command ship, a vital node that, if targeted, could disrupt the entire invasion force. The plan was to launch a daring mission to disable this key component. The mission required a skilled team to infiltrate deep into enemy territory and strike at the heart of the Council's operations. The team would need to bypass heavily guarded defenses and navigate through dangerous territory. It was a dangerous operation, but the potential reward was immense. Captain Hayes selected a group of elite soldiers and engineers for the mission. Among them was Sergeant Mike Rodriguez, known for his expertise in stealth operations. He would lead the team into the heart of the enemy's stronghold. The team briefed and equipped themselves with advanced gear designed for covert operations. As the team prepared to embark on their mission, the pressure was immense. The skies above Earth continued to blaze with the fire of ongoing battles. The Council's forces were relentless, but the tide was about to change. The team's insertion into enemy territory was executed with precision. They used stealth technology to avoid detection, slipping through the Council's defenses like shadows. Each member of the team knew the risks, but their focus was on the critical objective, disabling the Council's command ship. After navigating through treacherous terrain and bypassing security systems, the team reached the command ship's control center. They worked quickly, planting explosives and accessing sensitive systems. The tension was palpable as they set the final charges and prepared to retreat. As the team made their way back to the extraction point, the command ship began to experience severe disruptions. The Council's operations were thrown into chaos as their communications and control systems faltered. The once coordinated attack on Earth began to falter, creating an opening for humanity's forces to counterattack. Back on Earth, General Carter and Captain Hayes watched with anxious anticipation. The disruption to the Council's command ship was having a noticeable effect on the battlefield. The invaders were disorganized, and their attacks became less effective. The momentum was shifting. The Council's representative, watching the unfolding chaos from his ship, realized that their plan was falling apart. "What is happening?" he demanded. "Our systems are failing." The turning point had arrived. Humanity's daring mission had successfully disrupted the Galactic Council's invasion plans. The balance of power had shifted, and Earth's defenders seized the opportunity to launch a counteroffensive. The tide of the battle had turned, and the Galactic Council was facing an unexpected resistance. As Earth's forces rallied and pressed their advantage, the once overwhelming threat from the Galactic Council was now being met with determined resistance. The struggle was far from over, but the turning point had given humanity a fighting chance to reclaim their world. The battle for Earth had reached its climax. After the successful disruption of the Galactic Council's command ship, humanity was on the offensive. The Galactic Council, once so confident, now faced a determined and united resistance. The stage was set for the final showdown. The skies were still filled with the smoke of battle as the Council's forces regrouped and tried to salvage their invasion. The command ship, now severely damaged and disoriented, struggled to regain control. On the ground, Earth's defenders were ready for one final push. General Carter and Captain Laura Hayes gathered their teams for a critical briefing. The command center was buzzing with activity as soldiers prepared for the decisive confrontation. "This is our chance," Carter said, his voice steady. "We've turned the tide, but we need to finish what we started. We're going to hit the Galactic Council hard and push them off our planet." Captain Hayes nodded. "Our goal is to take out their remaining command ships and force them into retreat. We've got the advantage now, but we need to act fast before they regroup." The final offensive was launched with precision. Earth's military forces, backed by the newly developed technologies and battle-hardened soldiers, advanced on the remaining Galactic Council warships. The Vanguard unit, with Captain Hayes leading the charge, coordinated the assault from the front lines. The Galactic Council's remaining forces were caught off guard by the renewed assault. Their ships, already weakened and disorganized, struggled to mount an effective defense. Earth's advanced weaponry and coordinated attacks overwhelmed the Council's defenses. Missiles streaked through space, and energy beams cut through the darkness, targeting the Council's ships with deadly accuracy. In space, the epic battle unfolded. The command ships, now under relentless attack, began to crumble. The once mighty vessels of the Galactic Council were engulfed in explosions, their advanced armor unable to withstand the sheer force of humanity's counteroffensive. The sight of their flagships falling was a blow to the invaders' morale. Captain Hayes led a daring assault on the Council's flagship, the heart of their remaining forces. With her team, she boarded the ship and fought through fierce resistance. The battle was intense, but their objective was clear: disable the flagship and end the invasion. Inside the flagship, the fight was brutal. The Council's elite guards fought fiercely to protect their command center, but the Vanguard unit was determined and well prepared. After a fierce struggle, they reached the control room and planted the final charges. As the charges were set and the countdown began, the flagship's systems began to fail. The Galactic Council's representative, watching from a command center on a nearby ship, realized the gravity of the situation. "They're destroying our flagship!" he shouted in disbelief. "Retreat! Retreat now!" The order to retreat was given, and the remaining Council forces began to withdraw. The once invincible armada that had threatened Earth was now in full retreat. The skies, once filled with the Council's ships, were now clearing as the invaders fled. On Earth, the defenders watched in triumph as the last of the Galactic Council's ships vanished into space. The final showdown had been won, and humanity had successfully defended their world. Cheers and celebrations erupted among the victorious forces. The battle was over, and Earth had emerged victorious. General Carter and Captain Hayes stood together, looking out over the battlefield. "We did it," Carter said, a note of relief in his voice. "We defended our planet." Captain Hayes nodded. "We fought hard, and we showed the Galactic Council that Earth is not to be underestimated. Our unity and resolve made all the difference. As the sun rose over a battered but triumphant Earth, humanity looked to the future with renewed hope. The Galactic Council's threat had been repelled, and the planet was safe once more. The final showdown had proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity could stand strong and defend their home.